good, sexy, tragic, happy fun.
Welcome to Watch Mojo's Pop in the Culture, your weekly entertainment check-in. And me, I am your host with the most, Mojo, of course. That's right, it's me, Mr. Hollywood himself, Matt Demers. We got a big show for you. It's number 50 for us. I'll be speaking with some of the cast members of the new Netflix series, First Kill. Don't want to miss that. Plus, Madison Shamoun tells me all about her series on Prime Video titled The Lake. But it's time to check in with our Hollywood headlines. All right, and here to help me break it all down is Watch Mojo's very own Phoebe DeJour. Hey, Phoebe, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, Phoebe, there's a lot to break down. I'm starting with, and I can't believe we're still talking about this, the Oscar slap. It's only been 2 months, but it feels like it's been 2+ years. That's because everyone has had something to say about it. But now the news is that we're hearing from some people involved, namely Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, she has this show called Red Table Talk. Now, here's what she said. She addressed it. She said her deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men, and she's talking, of course, about Will Smith and Chris Rock, have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. Now, that's kind of all she said. Now, here's interesting. Also, to add to that is that they reached out to Chris Rock, did some other outlets, and his people put out a statement saying he doesn't have time for the Smiths right now. He's concerned with his comedy and a comedy special. I mean, Chris Rock doesn't seem to care. Phoebe, should we?
No, we shouldn't care anymore. I think Jada's biggest hope is that Chris Rock and Will Smith will be on Red Table Talk so she can have a really successful episode. But I really think that, Will Smith has been punished enough. He was banned for 10 years from the Oscars. A lot of his projects were kind of put in limbo because of this situation. So it's kind of weird that we're still talking about it. People make mistakes, and let's just move on.
Yeah, you're right. Now, the Red Table Talk, that would be so interesting if they got him on there, because I would admittedly watch it. But I was kind of waiting for that Oprah special, right? I thought that was inevitable, that there would be the Chris Rock, Will Smith in the same room together, big TV event with Oprah. We haven't had it, but you know what? There's rumors that the Academy, the Oscars, the producers, are going after Chris Rock to host the show next year. So maybe he'll stay silent until then. But yeah, I don't know if we'll ever stop talking about it until they start talking about it. Do you think Jada should have said more about her role in all this? Because she was getting some criticism saying that she was directly involved. So she's hoping that those two meet and get together. But where is she in all this?
See, I don't know that she has that much of a responsibility to, get more involved than saying that she hopes that they can reconcile. She didn't really do anything. She just kind of groaned at a joke that she didn't like. I just don't think that she needs to get any more involved. I know that I think it was Vivica A. Fox said something to the effect of that, she should do more and take more responsibility. She didn't go up on the stage and slap Chris Rock, I understand that she is involved in the situation, but how much more do you want her to do?
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with you. It's still crazy that this happened at the Oscars and not something like the MTV Video Music Awards.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if we still talk about the slappening, as I like to call it, in the weeks to come. I hope not. I hope you're right that it is kind of forgotten about. But I would like to see Chris Rock host that award show. Move on to something fun here. We are in the midst of the streaming wars, as I like to call them. Netflix is coming out with something called Geeked Week. So this is their kind of big bonanza where they throw out all kinds of first looks and trailers and teasers, basically all this nerdy content to get us excited for what they've got coming up. There's been a few interesting things in their series, their TV show front. I'll get you to chime in on some that you're excited about. I'm just going to throw out a couple now. One being Wednesday, that being Wednesday Addams. Jenna Ortega is taking on the role. Tim Burton is directing. I mean, if there was ever a project tailor-made for Tim Burton, it would be the Addams Family. So that's interesting. Resident Evil. They're trying it again. July 14th. This one's coming to Netflix, a live-action series. And The Sandman. That's probably the one I'm most excited for. August 5th. We got a date that's based, of course, on the acclaimed graphic novels. What says you, Phoebe? What's got you excited over there at the Netflix?
Wednesday, definitely. Just watching like that little teaser trailer that they put out, it looks exactly like The Corpse Bride. It has Tim Burton written all over it, which is so exciting because I just love his style and the aesthetic of his movies. I really like Jenna Ortega. I thought she was such a fantastic character in the second season of You. And she has like this really great, like just kind of like an edge to her. So I think she's kind of perfect for that role. And then you didn't mention it, but Cabinet of Curiosities, the Guillermo del Toro project that's coming. That's really exciting. Andrew Lincoln is in that, and Crispin Glover. It blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, I feel like he hasn't been in anything in a while.
The Back to the Future Crispin.
Yes, that
Glover.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. And the Del Toro show, is this anthology based? Is it like little horror kind of?
So they haven't given us a lot of information on it yet. It was kind of like just a really kind of like establishing shots of what you can expect the show to look like and who's working on it. So there's a lot of famous horror directors working on it, including Guillermo del Toro, of course. And then they talked about who was going to be starring in the show, which is, Andrew Lincoln, Crispin Glover, among many others. But it really has the aesthetic of a del Toro project. I've always been a big fan of Guillermo del Toro, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy movies, The Shape of Water, which was, one of my favorite movies. And so I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, no, that does look good. I remember seeing that for sure. Speaking of horror on Netflix, I don't know if you've caught the recent episodes of Stranger Things. So they're teasing the second part to season. I don't know why they just didn't put it all together, but whatever. We're gonna get the second part of season 4. But it got really dark, really creepy. I really dug it. Have you checked out any?
So I'm already on my second watch because Stranger Things is my favorite show of all time. We're watching again to kind of find the little Easter eggs that we missed upon first watch. So we're already like well into our second viewing. I really loved this season. I thought that as the cast gets older, they're kind of maturing the subject matter as well. And this was by far the darkest season in terms of like the body horror and the subject matter. It's phenomenal. I love the special effects. The acting is amazing. The twist in the season, spoiler alert, is phenomenal, and I can't wait to see the last 2 episodes. The reason why they separated them was because the season was so delayed because of COVID, and so they wanted to get out like the episodes that were ready as fast as possible, and the last 2 are actually like still in the editing room. So I think that they finally released the runtime for the final episode of season 4, and it's going to be 2 hours and 19 minutes, and I can't even, I'm shaking right now. I can't even describe how excited I am for this.
You're not alone. I don't think you're alone at all and that's the thing about this, the latest episodes, each episode kind of felt like its own little feature film.
Yes.
It was really well done. You can tell they threw a lot of money at it as well. And I was kind of worried. I'm like, they had so many cast members, so many actors, and they were introducing all these new people, and we were going to different parts of the world, and I was like, how is this going to be too much? And no, I think they blended it really nicely, and I think it's all coming together. There's certain elements of that show that I got nice goosebumps.
Oh yeah.
A lot of thrills and suspense. Is Netflix still number 1 before I move on? Streaming wars, I mentioned. There's a lot of competition out there. They're trying to pump up their slate, their original programs. Is Netflix still, you think, number 1?
To me, yes, but I think in the general grand scheme of things, I think Netflix is falling behind. I know that they, had like a massive subscriber loss, which I think they overreacted a little bit too, because they have so many subscribers. Losing 250,000 is like nothing. I think it was a bit of an overreaction. But, the original content coming out on Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, all the other streaming services, Amazon, they're really upping their game. So Netflix kind of can't stay stagnant. They have to keep evolving with the times.
Yeah, you know who wins? Us, the fans. We get all the great stuff. I love
Exactly.
that. Well, Netflix, they do all kinds of varied content, so you're not going to get the same things. Whereas Disney, it's very superhero, very Star Wars, obviously. Those are their big brands. But Netflix, you're going to get all kinds of stuff from horror, as we mentioned, to like comedy, adult animation, all kinds of stuff. All right, let's move on to something, and I don't mean to laugh, but it is kind of funny when we're talking about Morbius, the movie. The big news is that the release this once again in cinemas. There was a meme. I don't know if you saw this, Phoebe. But there was memes going around called "It's Morbin Time," and yeah, even Jared Leto got in on it, and he did a Twitter video where he was reading a script for Morbius 2. It's Morbin Time. So they put this back in cinemas, hoping to capitalize on all the online, I don't want to call it buzz, but all the chatter, I guess. And it didn't go so well. The movie bombed again. Here are the numbers. It's not 73 million in ticket sales domestically as of right now. Superhero movies, that's not great.
No.
And then when they put it back in cinemas, they couldn't even crack 500,000. It was 280,000 over the weekend, so it didn't go as planned. What do you think? Poor Jared Leto, or let's move on?
No, not poor Jared Leto. I think, like, I don't know if this was an in-joke by Sony by, like, re-releasing it as kind of like a, haha, we get it, you know, you guys didn't really like the movie, or if they misinterpreted that hashtag Morbius sweep, where, like, everyone was talking about how Morbius was the most critically acclaimed movie of all time, the biggest box office. Like, people are like, you know, they're being facetious, they're being sarcastic, and so I don't know if it was, like, an in-joke or if they actually thought people loved the movie that much. But it's so funny. I think another number that made me laugh was that it averaged $270 per theater upon re-release weekend, which is, I can't even imagine how embarrassing that is.
That's terrible. That's terrible, guys. That's so terrible. There were rumors that there might have been a sequel. I don't know if that's probably after this, probably not going to happen. But I feel like the movie itself is not very good. I think Jared Leto tried. You know, he's an interesting actor. Some people like him, some people don't. I think in the role he was okay. Matt Smith, I thought, was having a great time with his particular role. But yeah, script wise, and of course those eye rolling end credit scenes. What the heck? There was stuff in the trailers that didn't even make the movie. I mean, it was a mess. Phoebe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that they make movies like that nowadays. Like, it just blows my mind.
No, it's, yeah, get with it, guys. All right, Phoebe, thank you so much for helping me break all this down.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, but don't go anywhere, because you know what? Me and you, we got to take a trip. The trip is beyond the list.
Let's go.
All right, Phoebe, you know the drill. Here's what we do. We dig deep in the vast archives of Watch Mojo, pluck out a top 10 list. We go beyond the list. What does that mean? Me and you get to riff on it, give our own personal opinions. Today's interesting. It's the top 10 underappreciated childhood movies. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell me if you even saw these, or if you skipped them when they came out. Now, they're within the past decade, Watch Mojo is saying, but these are movies that were kind of overlooked at the time. We're not including ones that eventually gained like a cult following. So some will say The Iron Giant, which I will agree with, is a great film, but those won't be included here. So these are a little nostalgia trip, if you will. I'm not going to try to age you, but these I remember some of these when they first came out. What's your favorite childhood movie, though?
No. Oh my God. I was a big Pixar kid.
Yeah.
I have like a vivid memory of seeing Monsters, Inc. in theaters for the first time.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was so little and I cried uncontrollably.
What?
There was another time my family and I went to go see My Dog's...
Why did you cry?
The ending is so sad.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then we went to go see My Dog Skip. And my parents had to remove me from the theater because I cried so much when they kicked the dog. So a lot of I was more a Pixar kid though. I love Pixar.
And also a big crier, apparently.
Yeah, I still cry all the time. So.
All right, let's see if any of these made you cry. Number 10 on the list is Meet the Robinsons. Meet the Robinsons came out in 2007. I didn't remember this, and I had to take a look at a trailer, and then it kind of rang some bells. The trailer started to ring some bells. But yeah, this went under the radar. This is Disney too, and I think we're going to see a trend with some Disney movies that for some reason didn't make the mark, because usually their advertising is through the roof. Is this Pixar? No. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Phoebe? Do you remember Meet the Robinsons?
I have a vague memory of this because the animation style looks so much like Chicken Little. I think that was the movie that they did before this movie, Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah.
But I vaguely remember it. Not my favorite movie, but watching the trailer, the animation now, it's It's just so crazy to see how far animation has come. And this came out in 2007. That's not that long ago.
It's not that long ago. No, you're right. You're right about the evolution. Do you remember Chicken Little, though? You ever watch that? Mm-hmm. I say this because I have a little guy at home, a preschooler, and he really enjoyed Chicken Little. Like, he discovered it, and we watched that on a loop. But yeah, the animation style was interesting, and the story kind of took some big jumps. Yeah. Not sure that's on this list, but we shall see.
We'll talk about it.
Number 9, James and the Giant Peach. This goes all the way back to 1996. I did see this. I forgot about it. Is it Tim Burton? I don't think it was.
So it's not directed by Tim Burton. It's directed by someone else, but it was produced by Skellington Productions. So Tim Burton was a producer on the movie, and you can really see that.
Yeah, they did the Nightmare Before Christmas, right? The Skellington. Yeah. Because when I watched the clips and when I remember back to it, I'm like, oh, this feels very Tim Burton-y. And I love his stop motion films. What was that one with the dog?
Paranorman?
No. Oh, maybe. Or Frankenweenie?
Oh, Frankenweenie. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
There's actually a bunch of creepy ones.
I love that kind of leaning into the creepiness of stop motion animation. I think is a really good thing to do. We see that with films like Coraline, any film produced by Leica. I don't know if you're knowledgeable on Leica's filmography, but they make like the most beautiful stop motion animation. Anyway, all this to say that this is an amazing movie. This is one of my favorite childhood movies, and the animation style remains one of my favorite styles.
There you go. James and the Giant Peach. Maybe we could check it out. I wonder if it's on like Disney Plus. I'm sure one of the streaming services have it.
Probably.
Buried in their massive catalogs. Number 8's iffy for me because it's kind of a love-hate with George of the Jungle, 1997. This is a silly one, but...
Why do you hate it?
It's just so stupid at times, right?
I know, but it's Brendan Fraser.
Oh, he's...
So...
Yeah, okay.
Who cares?
All right. So you liked George of the Jungle? You have fond memories of this? Because it's basically Tarzan, but stupid.
I love anything Brendan Fraser. I love Dudley Do-Right. So any Brendan Fraser movie I'm in, I love it 100% from me.
Yeah. Well, he's swinging around. It's silly fun, I guess, if you're of a certain age. Speaking of Brendan Fraser, he's having a bit of a career renaissance, which I'm loving because he's getting a lot of love from people of the world. You'll see him at conventions getting teared up when people tell him how much they meant to him. But I always enjoyed him. I liked him in the Mummy films, and I'm interested to see what he's got on the go next because I think he's a great talent.
Yeah, he really is. And it's so long overdue for him to have a career resurgence. He's such a nostalgic figure for so many people. The Mummy movies are the movies that I watch anytime I'm sad or, they just really cheer me up. They're wonderful, nostalgic movies for me. And he's going to be in some really big movie soon with some big director. I can't remember exactly who it is, but I'm excited.
I think was it Scorsese? I think it might have been... I think there was a Scorsese film or something. I remember
there's also, I think, a Darren Aronofsky movie.
Ooh.
That's on the horizon for him too.
Yeah, because Brendan Fraser, you're gonna remember he's got a great range, and he's done. He obviously did a lot of the kid stuff, but he did the action, dramas, rom-coms. He's been in a few, so there you go. He can do it all. Number 7, I have no idea what this is. It's called The Black Cauldron. It came out in 1980. What? I don't know what this is. 1985. What is this? Is this animated?
You don't know Gurgi?
What?
Gurgi has no friends.
Nope. Not ringing any bells.
This was like a big flop for Disney. But I think it's actually a good story. And Gurgi, you gotta love Gurgi. Look up Gurgi after this. Look up Gurgi's Sacrifice on YouTube and it'll ruin your day.
Apparently John Hurt is the voice. John Huston is the narrator. Okay. Black Cauldron. Mm-hmm. Let me know if you've seen it, guys. All right, number 6. I definitely did see 2002 Treasure Planet. Oh, wait. I always get confused. This isn't the one with Michael J. Fox, is it? Is this the
No.
Michael J. Fox one? No.
This is the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Okay, because there's probably, you know what? I'm thinking there might be another one with Michael J. Fox. We'll get to it when we get to it. But Treasure Planet, yeah. I remember there was a couple, and this again is Disney, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So there was a few that kind of, during this period, the early 2000s, that didn't really hit the mark, like the 90s Disney or like the later 2000s. So
Yeah.
this is one of them. But yeah, people love it, and I remember enjoying it as well. You're right. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Emma Thompson, and
Martin Short.
Martin Short. I love Martin. Anything Martin Short's in, he never does me wrong. Even in Santa Claus 3, a terrible
Right?
movie.
Jack Frost.
But he was so funny. He's so good.
He's so good.
He's so great. All right. A Little Princess in 1995. Yeah, I guess so. I remember this.
I've
For a
never seen this movie or heard of
No?
it in my life. No.
For a certain demographic, I think it works. Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, girls like princess films. I don't know if there's anything special about it. I'm trying to see if there's anyone interesting in the cast. Not really.
Not really.
Yeah. Well, Watch Mojo has it at the midway point, so A Little Princess. I guess maybe, yeah, there's always a demographic that just wants more princesses.
Yes. But I think this is a more sad story. I don't think that it's like a Princess Diaries vibe. I think it's like more sad.
No, you're right. You're right. It's saying that
You're like, oh, little girls love princesses.
she's mistreated and forced to work for her father, who is mistakenly pronounced dead. Oh, okay. A little darker than I thought. But yeah, it's got princess in the title. Mm-hmm. Number 4, moving on. Number 4 is Monster House. This I know. You know what, though? This, I mentioned that I have a little guy, so we attempted to watch it, but this is pretty creepy stuff for like a kid's film. It came out in 2006, but it's well done. So I'm assuming that's why it's on this list. And again, this is going back to your point earlier with like the kind of the creepiness of Coraline or Paranorman. They're putting this right in that genre. I don't know. Monster House. Did you ever check this out?
Yeah, and the scariest thing about it is that motion capture technology that they used on Polar Express as well.
Oh, yeah.
That uncanny valley, I can't do it. It just freaks me out like crazy. But yeah, I do remember this movie, and not my favorite.
Have you seen the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers?
No, but I have seen the video that Ms. Mojo did on it with all of the cameos and Easter eggs, and it looks awesome. It's kind of like, what is it called? Who Killed Roger Rabbit?
Who framed Roger Rabbit? Who's also cameoed in it. It's really great. Yeah. It's really funny. The reason I bring it up is because there's so many in-jokes, and one of them has to do with those dead eyes from the Polar Express era of filming. So probably within that movie as well. Oh, here it is. Number 3 on the list. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, starring the voice of Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
This is a great movie. This is really fun. I do remember seeing this as a kid and being really into it. and yeah, I can't imagine why people have forgotten about it. It should be up there. It should be up there with the likes of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal movie. It's funny that you got them confused because I always get these two movies confused as well. Treasure Planet and Atlantis, The Lost Empire. I don't know if they're like sequel or...
Well, they came out around the same time. Oh, this is 2001. I think the other one was early 2000s too. But it's the same type of animation too, right?
Yeah, they look really similar. But this one, I remember this one much better because I watched it so many times. And I love this movie. It's phenomenal.
It's great. It is on Disney Plus too. I actually looked it up when Disney Plus came out. Okay, Anastasia, 1997 at number 2. Yeah, listen. There's people out there that tell me all the time that Anastasia is one of their favorite animated films.
Yeah, see, that's the reason why I don't know that it fits this list, because I feel like Anastasia is a really, really popular animated movie. Even now, it's almost on every animated list that we do. Yeah. So it's an amazing movie. It really is. Maybe it's forgotten, and that's why it would be on this list, but it is very popular.
It is very popular. I think, and also Watch Mojo's praising the songs. The characters, I think, are well done. Lots of depth and dimensions, which is important in animation. they always skip on the characters sometimes, and the animation itself, it looks pretty great. So there you go. If you haven't seen Anastasia, or if you did, this will take you back to your childhood. All right, we got some honorable mentions to get to. Flushed Away is one of them, 2006. Yeah. I mean, what? Huh?
Creep me out. Really creep me out. It has the same Wallace and Gromit vibe.
Yes,
and
true.
I have a distinct childhood memory of watching Wallace and Gromit in the basement and being paralyzed with fear because they scared me so much. And this, when I like looked up the movie, because I was like, I think I've seen this movie, I like, the image brought me back to that, and I was like, oh my god, I had like flashbacks.
Yeah, there's a mouse who gets sent to an unforgettable adventure via the toilet. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, going back to 1985. Pee-wee Herman has this movie was important because this was pre-Batman. This showed off the Tim Burton style of filmmaking.
Pee-wee funny.
Yeah. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Surf's Up. What is this one? Oh, is this the Penguins? 2007.
I don't know this movie.
People were obsessed with penguins around this time. There was like a documentary about penguins, and this is Surf's Up. This is penguins learning to surf, and then they've done all kinds of things with penguins. They even did a wrestling tie-in with penguins. People love their penguins. Ella Enchanted, 2004.
Love this movie. Love this movie. So good. I love Anne Hathaway. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Okay. And then The Secret of
Nim.
Yeah. What is this?
I think it's a movie about mice.
You're right. It's a single mouse mother, Miss Brisby, goes to great lengths to protect her family. Now, 1982, a little before my time, but okay, honorable mention. Meaning the number one nostalgic film, Phoebe, it's The Prince of Egypt, 1998. And hey, it's not Disney, it's DreamWorks. This is DreamWorks, so before Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, all that good stuff, The Prince of Egypt was out. Any recollection of this movie?
Yes. I think this movie has fallen by the wayside because it was kind of in a time where Disney was pumping out so much content. And it just is a reminder that DreamWorks has always held their own against Disney in terms of like the quality of animation. It's fantastic.
I'm also seeing now that the score was composed by Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
they really did that.
They did that in this animated The Prince of Egypt. Yeah, no, this is great. No complaints with my number one. Phoebe, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me today.
We're not going to do my picks for which underrated movies,
have
childhood
more?
movies. Yeah, I picked some.
Oh, well then go. You give. I didn't think you had any.
Homeward Bound is, to me, criminally underrated. Another Michael J. Fox classic.
Homeward Bound, yes, where the animals go on that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I have a funny story about that movie. My sister, we were in like a diner, and she kept looking over at the guy sitting behind her, and he was like waving at her and saying hi, and she had just watched Homeward Bound, so she said, "Chow down, chubby," to the guy.
Oh my god.
Anyway, the Never-Ending Story, I feel like this is like a classic, kind of culty, so I feel like it maybe didn't belong on this list, but The Never-Ending Story, Big with Tom Hanks, Move Over Captain Phillips, Big is Tom Hanks' best movie.
Okay, that's a take.
And Cool Runnings.
Oh, there you go. You know what? Now you've inspired me for a nostalgic movie. Mine is The Starfighter. It's a movie that I didn't see when it came out, but I discovered later as a kid, and I really liked it. It's around Star Wars time. So the graphics might not hold up much. But have you ever seen The Starfighter?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's this guy. He's on like I don't know if it's like a trailer park, but there's a arcade game that he plays, and then he's so good at defeating these aliens in the game that they need someone to defeat actual aliens, so they get him to do what he did in the game for real.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Sounds kind of cool, yeah.
It is pretty cool. But like I said, graphics don't hold up. But story-wise, fun. All right, Phoebe, anything else?
No, that's it.
I didn't think you had anything, but I'm glad you did. All right, folks, it is time for our Mojo Chats of the week. We're starting things off with Netflix's vampire Shakespeare series, First Kill. Take a look. Hey, listen, the show is titled First Kill. Listen, I'm excited to chat with you both about it. Give us the breakdown, because this is interesting. I want to say it's a love story, but then we're dealing with vampires.
Oh yeah.
Well, Sarah, you take it. Give us the tease.
Sure. Why not? So First Kill. Hello, this is First Kill. It is a modern day Romeo and Juliet. In our case, a Juliet and Juliet. Where at the core is this star-crossed love story between Juliet and Calliope. Both. It's funny because then their parents kind of get involved and it becomes this big family rival. And so it's very much a star-crossed love type of situation, added with vampires, monsters, monster hunters, and both the reason why it's called First Kill, we both have to make our first kill to complete our transformation as vampire and monster hunter.
It really is a cool little concept, a story in with two characters focusing on the first episode, which I saw was really great. I'm really into it. I'm going to switch to you, because when we talk about teen vampires, people go to Buffy or Twilight. What makes this show different?
Oh, so many things make this show different. I think it's incredible that we're seeing her come from a family of monster hunters. And I think being that they're both two teenage girls in a queer relationship, I think the representation is just very, very different for this show. And we represent so many different communities on this show. It's the adolescent community and just anybody that has struggled with any kind of journey ever. So I think it's different in so many ways. I think the fight sequences are phenomenal. I think the family dynamics are phenomenal. Just the character development in general and the development of our dynamic, I think it's something so special. And I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yeah, no, you're blending all kinds of different genres, which is really, really cool. Okay, final question. I'll pose it to both of you, because we here at Watch Mojo, we love to rank things. We're all about top 10s, top 20s. So clearly, the greatest vampire of all time, who tops your list? It could be from a movie, could be from a book, could be from a TV show. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like, shouldn't it be Dracula?
I feel like it's wrong to not say
Dracula. It'd be kind of rude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What version? What version? The Bela
The
Lugosi?
original?
Okay, the OG.
The OG
Dracula for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and now the best vampire hunter of all time.
You know what I'm gonna say? Blade. Always
Hey.
Blade.
She loves Blade.
Forever
She
Blade.
loves Blade.
I love Blade. I watched Blade so many times. I love Blade.
Let's get that movie going. Mahershala Ali.
And
Yeah.
play.
For sure.
But in the meantime, you know what we got? We got First Kill over there on Netflix. We do encourage everyone to check it out. Hey, thank you guys so much. So fun.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right, the show on Netflix, it is titled First Kill. And guys, you got to watch this, because I watched the first episode and now I'm hooked. I can't wait to go binge the rest. The binge abilities through the roof. Who better to tell me all about it than one of the stars? Hey, Elizabeth, how are you?
Oh, Matt, hi. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Am I right about this? Like the cliffhangers are just, you gotta.
That first episode, we can't say anything about it, but I feel the same way that you do. I read it. I was like, wait, what? I was a little bit shocked. I was a little bit like, okay. And I thought it was, good, sexy, tragic, happy fun. It was good.
Absolutely. I love that. They should put that on the poster.
Yeah, I feel like, there you go.
Elizabeth, I'm a big fan of yours. You pop up in a lot of my favorite shows. I'm a fanboy of Lost, and we see you on The Expanse, all this stuff. What drew you to this particular role? This is something different for you.
Well, I've always wanted to play a vampire, right? Like I have always wanted to play a vampire, and it's so exciting to get to play, a 500-year-old matriarch. Like I'm happy with it. I got the script, and I was kind of like, to be honest with you, I was really sold just from, she's a vampire. Then I was like, oh well, yeah, of course, let's do it. So I love fantasy. I love the genre, and vampires have always just been something where you're like, oh, they can do anything and they don't die, and I love them. So, personal reasons, I guess.
And as long as they're not in the sun, they always have great skin, which I'm always jealous of.
You have great skin. Okay.
This is okay. This isn't a beauty show, so don't worry. We were trying to get to the bottom of this earlier where I was asking about the teen vampire genre. This seems to be a big deal. You had your Buffys, your Twilights, your Lost Boys. I guess last question would be, why do you think that is? Why are we, the audience, drawn to teen stories to do with vampires?
I mean, it's so true. We are, and it's grown women as well, right? I mean, but my best friend is a librarian, and she says those books are always gone. And I'll be like, "What about this book?" And she's like, "Oh, we've all read that one." So yes, they are written in a teen voice, but boy, they are loved by everyone. I guess it's because those are the years where you are so passionate, so irrational, so poetic in your intensity, and I think it's a really fun thing to play. And because it has that time in it, we all understand what it means, right? As a grown-up, it's nostalgic. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, I remember when I felt that way. And as a teenager, you're like, that's life. So I feel like that's what it is. You're having a time of emotional intensity, and we get to be there for it. And vampires are just cool.
Absolutely nailed it. Well, get ready for some cool stuff with First Kill over there on Netflix. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you.
All right, it's now time for my chat with Madison Shamoun. She stars in the Prime Video series, The Lake. All right, she's a very talented actress, and she's going to be starring in a hilarious new show called The Lake. I can't wait to talk to her about that and so much more. Madison Shamoun is here. Hey, Madison, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Like I said, I'm excited to chat with you about the show called The Lake. It's coming to Amazon Prime. Really funny stuff from what I've seen from the trailers and the adverts. Fill us in on what we can expect out of this one.
Oh man, okay, so I don't want to say too much, but the story centers around our main character, Justin, and a summer that he spends with his biological daughter that he gave away for adoption. And it's a little bit raunchy, but there's a lot of heart. It's a feel-good comedy.
So you play that daughter, correct? Like you're the...
Yeah.
And it's all centered around this cottage. It seems like there's a bit of a head-to-head battle with that character and Julia Stiles.
Yes, Miss Julia Stiles. She's playing the antagonist, the stepsister Maisie May. And yeah, that's kind of like one of our other storylines. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the show. It's cool. But yeah, he wants his cottage and she has it and it's in her name. And that's kind of like the fight of the season is like, will he or won't he get the cottage back?
Madison, I'm not to age myself, I'm a 90s kid. So Julia Stiles for me is like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Dance. She's iconic. What was she like? Just for my own personal.
Yeah, I mean, iconic. I had this thing where as soon as I knew that it was going to be her, I like specifically didn't watch anything of hers for like a month because I was like, I'm just going to fangirl and I'm going to freak out. So I need to like stay away from all movies and TV shows with Julia Stiles. But she's just like the coolest, most down to earth, just easygoing gal, and like truly just iconic, really.
Yeah, no, she does seem very fantastic. I want to talk about where you filmed this because, I mean, it's called The Lake. I mean, we see the cottage and it's all very beautiful looking. I actually kind of want to go vacation there now. Where was this?
So we were all in Canada, like a few hours outside of Toronto. There's this little, like very, very small town called North Bay in Northern Ontario. And I think like the population is less than 40,000 people. Like it's a really small town. And everything that you see in the show, we shot on location. There was no set, there were no sound stages. So when you see us like canoeing, when you see us swimming, when you see us hiking, we really did that in 100-degree weather in the summer, like 90% humidity. It's all real.
Did you do any like cliff diving? I know that's popular. Jumping off.
There's actually a bit of that in the trailer, so I don't think I'll be giving anything away. But yeah, certain cliff jumps. One of them was like 60 feet, and production was like, "There's no way the actor can do this." So bless our stunt doubles for taking that leap for us. But yeah, cliff diving's fun.
Are you so how do you in real life, are you a country urban girl or do you like the cottage stuff? Where do you land? Because I'll admit that I'm a city boy through and through. I like I said, I'll spend a few days at a cottage, no problem. But I can't take the bugs. I'm not one to start a fire. I mean, there's no Wi-Fi. Yeah,
No,
only a few.
you and I are very much the same.
Okay.
I'm a city girl, and it's gorgeous. Like the freshest air I've ever breathed in my life was that summer shooting that show. And it's just beautiful, like nature. We don't have that here in LA. I kept telling my family, like, the bugs here are different than the bugs in Los Angeles. Like the bugs in Los Angeles are no big deal. The bugs in the forest in 90% humidity in Canada, they're like this big, like they're real bugs. So I didn't love that. And it was so hot in a way that I've never experienced heat before, but like, just stunning location, stunning views.
Yeah, if they can add maybe a few Starbucks in those wilderness locations.
Oh my gosh. There was one Starbucks for the whole town for 40,000 people, one Starbucks within like a 4-hour like circumference or something. It was wild. So we would like get up extra early sometimes on a Saturday and like drive out to the Starbucks.
Need my coffee. So Madison, I'm looking at your filmography. So this, you've also popped up in a few other comedy shows. Yeah. Is comedy kind of your genre of choice? Is that
That is so funny you asked me that. So I went to UCLA for theater, film, and television and got my degree in acting. And like, I was not the comedy girl. Like I was that girl crying, like doing those like dark, like Ionesco shows. Like I always thought drama was kind of what I was gonna do more so, but no, ever since graduating, it's been comedy. It's so fascinating to me. I don't think I'm funny, but
there's a debate amongst actors or people that think they know what's harder and what's easier to do, make people laugh or make people cry.
They're both so hard and also so fun. Like they present their own challenges. And I think too, like I spent all those years training thinking that I was kind of going to do more drama. So that got like easier for me. Whereas like comedy is so, I wouldn't say it doesn't come easy to me, but it's just a different rhythm. It's like baking versus cooking, like just completely different skill set. Like I can cook a great meal, but like I need to follow a recipe when I'm baking. Like I can't just do my own thing and throw things. Like it doesn't work that way. So I would describe it kind of like that, baking versus cooking.
There you go. I love it. What kind of things does Madison like to do when you're not filming, when you're not acting, when you're not on sets? What are some of your hobbies or interests? If you have time, do you even have time to do stuff?
Oh my gosh. So when I'm shooting, no, I have no time. But when I'm not shooting, it's really just like, it sounds dumb, but doing all the normal things like working out, seeing my friends, like seeing a movie. That was something I felt like out of touch with for a few months. I was like, I need to get caught up. Like everybody was watching Morning Show and not Succession. What was it? There was a really big show that came out last summer when I was working. But yeah, I just wanted to catch up on stuff and kind of do normal things.
The binge watch all those shows. I'm right there with you. Yeah. I watch them all late at night, so that's why I'm always tired in the morning. Yep. You're still quite young. Is there actors or people in the industry that you kind of look up to? Any inspirations that you've?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like different people from different generations. Like when I was, like, I would say like a preteen, I like aspired to be Sarah Michelle Gellar. I wanted to be Buffy so bad. So she was kind of like my first crush. And then, like love me some Meryl Streep, love me some Joaquin Phoenix. As of late, I'm super into Florence Pugh right now. I think she's fabulous. She's so fascinating. So it's constantly changing. There's always someone new.
Yeah, no, for sure. Madison, this has been so much fun. I can't wait to see people check out The Lake. And I'm guaranteed they're probably going to love it because I'm loving just the trailers that I'm watching. So I can't imagine what the show's going to bring to us.
I hope people laugh. I hope it makes them cry.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much, Madison.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this edition, everybody. Big thanks going out, of course, to Phoebe for bringing the fun and everyone over there at Netflix's First Kill. And Madison, can't wait to check out The Lake. And hey, thank you for watching and listening. I've been Mr. Hollywood, poppin' the culture.